This is Mari Elaine, and the verse of the day comes from Psalms. Whoever remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. And that's from Proverbs. It's Proverbs chapter 29, verse 1. So what is it to remain stiff-necked? It's to be stubborn. It's to be unyielding. It's to hear wise counsel over and over and not heed it. Are you not listening to God? Are you not listening to Holy Spirit? Are you not listening to that friend that keeps telling you over and over, this needs to change? Let's think about this. And they've talked to you about something repeatedly. And maybe you've admitted they're right, but you still won't change. Is there a phrase or a thing that you keep hearing over and over and over from everybody? Or every 10th person you meet says, you know what? And they tell you something about yourself. And it's the same thing that that person last year got onto you about. And you think, well, I have the right to do that. We here in America particularly, I'm sure this is worldwide, but I come from the Appalachian Mountains, and we're rugged individualists, and we will say in a heartbeat what our rights are. You know, it's one of those things that a lot of people don't know how to be part of a community. Some people from the mountains won't even accept charity of any kind, and their spouse and their children suffer for it because of pride and ego and the whole thing of, I'm going to make it on my own. You know, sometimes that doesn't work. We've got to work together as communities. So don't be stiff-necked. Humble yourself before God. Humble yourself before your community if that's what you need to do to survive or to make one of your children successful. Admit maybe that teacher at school does know a few things. You know, I had a situation when I was in high school that I had a wonderful teacher that could have helped me do tremendous things, but my parents wouldn't let it happen. They didn't want someone else influencing me. I was their child. It was like I was property. And those kinds of subtle values that are ingrained into people really hold them back, and they hold their children back. I mean, I'm not resentful about the situation. I now know what I would have learned under her tutelage. And it would have been nice if I'd have known what she knew and could have taught me earlier. I could have had a quicker launch in life, so to speak. But, you know, I'm over that. It's okay now. She's passed away, and she was a wonderful teacher to the point where she was allowed to teach me. And I'm really just so enamored by her still. What a tremendous person she was. And I listened to her as much as I could, even though I couldn't do those other things that she invited me to do because of my parents. I listened to her as much as I could. And I would just love to have that much influence on other people's lives. It would just be wonderful if but that is not to be. It's a little late in life for me to do some of the things that I have the intellectual knowledge to do, but my body will not comply. And it's pretty much well known that my body will not comply. So, uh, it's one of those things when you get older, there's tons of things that you know how to do, but you don't have the energy, or you have medical conditions that prevent you from doing those things. And it's just sad. And then you see people around you that could do the same things, that have that knowledge, and they don't do them. Maybe they feel um, some of those things are beneath them, you know, and that's how life goes. All that energy is wasted on youth, as they say. I read an article the other day about there's um, there's a trend in China of young people laying low and just kind of hanging out, and maybe only working day labor every third day, um, and it's called lying down. And I see a lot of American um, youth doing that too, and not being slaves to the man. I guess it's what the common phrase. But and I don't know what the Chinese version of it is. I don't know Chinese, but they will do as little as possible, just enough to get to survive. And some of them are homeless and they couch surf, and they have internet cafes they hang out in. And I guess they get enough money to have their internet time and just hang out. And they don't buy cars, they don't buy houses, they don't get married, they don't date, they don't have children. Sometimes, they will marry and a couple will lay low together if they both have that same lifestyle and don't value uh, anything material. They're just looking for the cyber. They're just looking for internet time to play whatever they do, their games or music or whatever it is that they're into. Um, they can't do that and be into cosplay because, of course, that's Japan. Um, but in Japan, if you lay low, from what I understand, that you disappear. I don't know how true that is. Certainly, you can do it in the United States, and some people are. I went through a Burger King one time, and this woman was working there by herself, just the manager. And I said, "Where's your staff? What happened?" Because I'd been there 40 minutes. She's like, "They all quit their jobs." I said, "Why?" And she said, "They got their income tax checks." So evidently, it's common in America for young people to do that, millennials and younger. Oh, I've got money, I'm gonna go take a vacation, and they quit their job. Um, I would never have thought about anything like that. Of course, I work for the post office and I got vacation time. So, I guess if you worked a job that they never gave you a vacation, but, it still seems extreme because, you start out with square one again when you go to a new job. If they'll hire you because they see that you work 6 months and quit and work 9 months and quit. Oh, over here you did work 2 years. But, when your work record's like that, you know, um, I don't know, with the labor shortage now, it probably wouldn't matter. They probably are getting by with it and rehired. It just seems, I don't know, as a manager, I'll be like, we spent all this money on hiring you and then training, and then you're going to work 5 months or 7 months or 11 months and then go your way. I'd rather hire somebody that worked somewhere for at least 3 years. I don't know. But anyway, I'll try not to be stiff necked about how people have their lifestyles. Uh, some of those Christian people are Christian, uh, and it's just a lifestyle. So we have to be loving and accepting of everyone. It just seems so transient to me. Um, I like to have a little stability in my life. I don't know. Maybe this generation's let go of that. And that might be a good thing, because um, corporations aren't really loyal to individuals, you know. So I can see it. I can absolutely see it. But I also would know that if I was still of an employable age and health condition, that I wouldn't want to do that. I would want to stay and and do what I'm supposed to do, and be reliable. But right now I'm not reliable. I know it, and I knew for when my child was being raised that I wouldn't be reliable because I'd have to take all this time off, and unexpectedly too, when my child needed me. So, that's a whole different thing. If you have a child with special needs or you have an elderly family member you have to take care of, you can't always know when you're going to have to jump and run. And, I just never tried to be employed when I was under either one of those situations because, I would just end up getting fired and I knew it. So, anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about employment this morning, but there it is. And, you know, I guess I read that article and I just think about, that being a little stiff necked because they're not they don't have any loyalty to anyone or anything. And um, I don't know. That just seems really odd, transient life. But I guess to each his own. But that's just, there are many, many, many ways people can be stiff necked or stubborn or not listen. I chose people that choose transient employment as an example. And I don't wish doom on anyone. I don't want anyone to be destroyed. But it just looks like a lifestyle that you're just a click away from permanent homelessness and destitution uh, if you don't build any stability or loyalty in your life. I could be wrong. There could be tens of thousands of people successfully doing this that are have a happier lifestyle than I do. If you know somebody that does this, please comment and tell me about myself, if you will. I'd be more than happy to take feedback. Much love to you all.